Deep within ancient whispers lies the chilling tale of Morana, a secluded village where the very act of dreaming was forbidden. What dark secret forced its inhabitants into a waking slumber, and what horrors awaited those who dared to dream? Join us as we uncover the unsettling history and the forgotten truths of Morana. Imagine a world without color, a life without sound. Now, imagine a place where the very landscape of your mind, the vivid theater of your subconscious, was outlawed. Where the simple natural act of dreaming was a crime punishable by exile or worse. This isn't a dystopian novel. This is the chilling true legend of Morana, a village shrouded in mist and fear, where people were forbidden to dream. What dark force could compel an entire community to sacrifice their inner worlds? And what happens when the human spirit, starved of its nightly canvas, begins to unravel? Stay with us as we delve into one of the most unsettling mysteries the world has ever known. Nestled deep within forgotten valleys, far from the gaze of modern civilization, lies Morana. For generations, its existence has been whispered among travelers and historians as a cautionary tale. But the story of Morana is far more than a fable. It's a testament to the extremes humanity can reach when confronted by an unseen terror. Our journey begins by understanding the very fabric of this peculiar place, where silence wasn't just golden, it was a lifeline, and where a deep, collective fear ruled every waking moment. How did such an unnatural decree come to pass? We're about to find out. The genesis of the ban, a seed of terror. Legend has it that the ban on dreaming didn't emerge from tyranny, but from a desperate attempt at self-preservation. Centuries ago, Morana was plagued by a terrifying phenomenon. Its inhabitants began to share collective nightmares. Dreams of fire, famine, and monstrous entities didn't just haunt their sleep. They began to manifest, subtly at first, in the waking world. A shared dream of a blight on crops would lead to a real blight. A vision of a loved one's illness would tragically come true. The village elders, mystics and scholars, theorized that Morana was a nexus, a thin place where the veil between dreams and reality was dangerously fragile. Their dreams, they believed, were not mere subconscious ramblings, but powerful conduits, capable of bending reality itself. And so, a desperate council convened. The council's decision was drastic, yet, in their fear-stricken minds, the only solution: dreams must cease. An edict was passed, not with fanfare, but with the gravitas of a death sentence. To dream was to endanger the entire community. Special dream wardens were appointed, not as overt guards but as silent observers. They were said to possess an uncanny ability to detect the subtle signs of a dreamer, the fleeting tremor of a closed eyelid, the shallow, quickened breath, the telltale furrow of a brow, even the subconscious anxieties that would betray a mind active in sleep. Their methods were psychological, not physical, fostering an environment of self-surveillance. Every villager became a warden of their own mind, and a silent judge of their neighbor. A life undreamed, the toll on Morana. Life in Morana transformed into a waking purgatory. Villagers developed rituals to prevent sleep from becoming too deep, too fertile for dreams. They slept in shifts or on uncomfortable surfaces, some even tying cords to their limbs, connected to bells that would jingle with the slightest stir. Conversation was minimal, laughter rare, replaced by a pervasive, quiet vigilance. Art, music, and storytelling, once vibrant expressions of their culture, withered away, deemed too stimulating, too imaginative, too close to the dream state. The collective psyche of Morana became a barren landscape, its inhabitants listless, their eyes holding a deep, unspoken sadness. What happens to a soul when its nightly escape is denied? Whispers of defiance and the night bloomers. Yet, even in the bleakest of circumstances, the human spirit yearns for release. Whispers circulated about night bloomers, individuals who, despite the severe penalties, found ways to dream in secret. They were said to meet in hidden nooks, exchanging hushed accounts of their forbidden visions, clinging to these fragments of their true selves. These weren't acts of rebellion, but desperate cries for mental freedom. But for every whispered dream, there was the terrifying risk of discovery. The punishment for dreaming was severe: exile into the desolate wastes surrounding Morana, a fate considered worse than death. It was said that the exiled often returned not as humans, but as hollowed-out husks, their minds shattered by the raw, uncontrolled power of their unbound subconscious. The deepest secret, the true purpose of the ban. But what if the elders of Morana weren't just trying to prevent nightmares? What if their intentions were far more complex and far more sinister? Recent discoveries, unearthed from hidden scrolls by a daring outsider, suggest a horrifying truth. The dreams of Morana weren't just powerful, they were a portal. A conduit for an ancient, slumbering entity, trapped beneath the village itself. This entity didn't feed on fear, but on the vibrancy of human consciousness, on the raw, unfiltered energy of dreams. The ban wasn't to protect the villagers from their own nightmares, but to starve this entity, to keep it from waking fully. The elders believed that by suppressing dreams, they were sacrificing the joy of their people to save the world from an unimaginable terror. But in doing so, they inadvertently created a different kind of monster. A village full of empty shells, devoid of joy, creativity, and hope, inadvertently strengthening the very entity it sought to starve, as the entity fed on despair. The undreamed future. The tale of Morana leaves us with a haunting question. Was the sacrifice worth it? Did the elders truly protect their world, or did they simply trade one terror for another? The village of Morana may still stand, a silent testament to a fear so profound it erased the very essence of human imagination. But as the world awakens to its existence, one thing remains clear. The freedom to dream, to explore the boundless landscapes of our minds, is a privilege we should never take for granted. Recent investigations suggest the story of Morana may not be over. Travelers who pass through the forgotten valleys claim that the village, once thought abandoned, is no longer silent. Some report hearing faint murmurs at night, like hundreds of people whispering in their sleep. Others swear they saw flickering lights moving inside the old huts, even though no one lives there. And then there are the dreams. Villagers from neighboring regions have begun reporting identical nightmares. A massive heartbeat under the earth, a voice calling their names, and an ancient presence awakening after centuries of hunger. If the entity beneath Morana fed on suppressed dreams, what happens now that the world has begun to dream freely again? Perhaps Morana was never the end of the story, but the beginning of a much larger warning. What would you do if your dreams were forbidden? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this dive into the unknown as captivating as we did, be sure to like this video, subscribe for more stories. Watch out for the next part. Until next time, keep your mind open and cherish your dreams.